Last week, we began this short two-part series about the 2 ways to improve. How can you and I improve ourselves? Because there is no finish line, as we talked about last week. So the 2 ways to improve, and I quoted my business hero, Truett Cathy, the 2 ways to improve are the people you interact with and the books you read. We talked last week about the people you interact with and how we need to be intentional about that because the people you listen to are a preview of the future you. This week, I want to talk about the books that you read. And you might be a reader, you might not be a reader, but I really do believe the books that we read help condition our minds to be more observant of life and to give us better ideas. So here's my challenge to you. I don't know how many books you read last year, but I think it's very, very important to go into each year with a book list. It could be, hey, I'm going to read 2 books this year. I'm going to read 20 books this year, whatever it may be. But I think the books you read really help create in our minds an awareness of better ideas and allow us to improve. Now, there's so much I could talk about this. Can I just give you one example about how to do this? One of the questions I get, because I'm a reader, one of the questions I get is, how do you read all these books? Well, every week I have a reading goal, and it can be just as simple as, I'm going to read 3 chapters of this book. And I always have a book with me. Now, the wonderful thing about technology is you can take your Kindle or your iPad with you and you can carry 55 books with you in just one little device, okay? But so if I'm going somewhere and I'm meeting someone and they're running a little late, I pull out my iPad and I read. And so I'm trying to get toward my goal, okay? So I have a reading goal each week. The other practical advice, piece of advice that I can give you is to go to goodreads.com, goodreads.com. You can go to my Goodreads account, goodreads.com/Jeff Henderson. You'll see the books I've read all the way back to 2009 when I started doing Goodreads. But what I do is I take notes in the books I read, and then I put all the notes, or the primary notes or the highlights of the books that I've read in that file. So if I go, oh, I read that book in 2010 and I can't quite remember what it said, but I know it was important, I go right to goodreads.com, I go to that book, I look at my notes, and it's a refresher for me. And sometimes if I hit a leadership challenge and I go, what should I do here? I just go back to my Goodreads account, I look at some of the leadership books that I've read, and I find my notes. And that is typically very, very helpful for me as I try to solve a particular leadership challenge. In terms of the books that you want to read, I would say, well, what's most important to you right now? For me, I try to find different categories. I try to find books on leadership. As kind of connected to that, I'm really leaning more into biographies. A great question that Bill Hybels says is, what would a great leader do? Well, we've got these things called biographies, and they tell us what great leaders did, and they tell us what not so great leaders did. We can learn from them as well. So there's biographies. I'm interested in health, so there's some health books that I want to read. I have a family, so I want to be a better parent. I want to be a better husband, so I lean into books on marriage or parenting. There's spiritual books that I want to lean into, but it really depends on what are the categories that you want to do. And then I'm constantly, one of the things I love to do is just go to Barnes & Noble, and the cool thing with the Goodreads app, it has a scanner on it, and you can just scan the barcode and it'll go directly to your reading list. Just to put it there as a reminder, oh, this is the book that I want to get. And again, I think Truett Cathy is right. As you surround yourself with these books, it expands your mind to a whole world out there that is available to you and to me if we'll just access it. So the 2 ways to improve, the people you interact with, we talked about that last week, and the books that you read. So what's your goal? Let's just say this quarter. What's your goal this quarter? Is it going to be 1 book, 2 books? Go to goodreads.com. You can sign up a free account there. You can follow me. I'll follow you. And I think we'll go on this journey together because I really do think the books you read help you and me improve.